What's up? What's good, YouTube? In today's video, I will be going over what your favorite attacker in Rainbow Six Siege says about you. Now remember, these are my personal opinions, so if they're not true, don't take it personal. Now let's jump into this video. For our first attacker, we have Striker. If this is your favorite attacker, you are definitely good at the game, you understand Siege at a high level, and you realize that Siege is all about utility, and the fact Striker gets 2 gadgets is huge because it's not only helps you be able to push easier, but your teammates as well, so you can literally get the main wall by yourself if you have to, and you can use him to break a lot of the defender's utility. So if Striker is your main, you're definitely an Emerald or higher. For our next operator, we have Sledge. If Sledge is your favorite attacker, you definitely don't play Siege a lot. You probably don't even own half the operators. Don't get me wrong, he is a good operator with a decent ability, but he's mainly used just to break unreinforced walls, so he can be good in some instances, but he isn't good enough to be your main. There's just way better ops, so if he is your main, you definitely are peak silver and you don't play the game a lot. For our next operator, we have Thatcher. If your favorite attacker is Thatcher, you are definitely good, you understand Siege, you're always playing support and helping get the main walls on every site for every map. He's a very good operator no matter what map you're on, but you definitely are mediocre at the game. You're not terrible, but you're not too good. That's why you play support, but you just embracing your role and helping them get main wall every game really helps you and your teammates a lot. So they're focused on you and your team getting the main wall, which can help your other teammates be able to push and make plays in sight. On to our next attacker, we have Ash. If your favorite attacker is Ash, you are definitely the best person out of your friend group. You have the best aim, the best game sense, and you're definitely a higher rank because this operator is meant for the best player on the team. So if you main her, you definitely play the game a lot. You understand Siege. You understand she can be used literally to do so much like break unreinforced walls, pop mirrors, blow up any of the defender's utility, and she has arguably the best gun on attack. On to our next attacker, we have Thermite. If this is your favorite operator on attack, you are definitely a support player, but you love playing support and you understand how important it is to get the main walls on literally every site on every map. You aren't horrible, but you're not nasty. You are okay with playing support because you have passion and you will play whatever the team needs you to so y'all can win games. Also, you always end up getting that plant down for the team, which is huge, and if needed, you will clutch rounds. For our next operator, we have Twitch. If your favorite attacker is Twitch, you are definitely one of the best players out of your friend group. You have insane recoil control, given that her gun has stupid recoil. And you're always clutching 1v3s, 1v4s, 1v2s, and you don't have the best game sense, but your aim makes up for it. You are passionate about Siege, you are definitely a high rank, and you just love playing Siege at a high level. For our next operator, we have Montagne. If your favorite attacker is Montagne, you have no life, you cannot shout anybody because you always whiff your shots, you accept that you're horrible at the game, so your last resort is to hop on a shield. The only thing you're good for is getting plant down, and half the time, you're terrible at that also. You don't play Siege a lot, you don't take it serious enough, you don't want to get better, and you have never hit anything higher than gold. For our next attacker, we have Glaz. If your main is Glaz, you need to hop off Siege, go play Roblox or Minecraft. This game is not for you, lil' bro. The only thing you're good for is baiting for kills. You hold long angles, praying people swing into it, and you get easy kills. Other than that, you suck, you haven't hit a good rank, you have no game sense, your aim is terrible, and you will never be good at the game until you learn to actually play the game how it's supposed to be played. You have no passion, so just throw your controller in the river and stop maining Glaz. For our next attacker, we have Fuse. If your favorite attacker is Fuse, you are a bum. You try to boost your KD playing him. You can never win your gunfights. You have no game sense. Over half the time you are upstairs trying to fuse and you get roamed on and die. So you're just a waste of a teammate. Don't get me wrong. Fuse isn't a bad operator, But if he is your main, there is a problem. I have literally seen kids run him when the site is upstairs and they put the fuse chargers on walls or windows. That is the dumbest thing you can do. Go outside, touch grass, or hop on Need for Speed or something, because Siege is not your strong suit. For our next operator, we have Blitz. If this is your favorite operator on attack, you have no life, you have terrible aim, you can never win your gunfights, you have a negative KD, and you rely on your shield to help you get kills. You don't even play Blitz right. You just run into sight like a maniac and you end up hitting a Kapkan, a Lesion, or even a Melusi. You don't drone anything. You think you can just run in the building hoping you can flash somebody and get a kill and literally always die within the first minute of the round. And you always tell your teammates, hey, let me get the fuse or I'm going to get in there and get plant down. And half the time, it'll still be a 5v5 and you're in the middle of sight smoking off trying to plant when nobody's dead and it's literally the first minute into the round. Like, bro, what are you doing? Let your team get a pick or two. Let them get in sight. You're the only one trying to get plant down in sight and nobody's holding you. For our next attacker, we have IQ. If your favorite attacker is IQ, you are definitely experienced at the game. You understand that utility is everything and it's a mental game. So you like to play IQ to break as much utility as you can, which chalks the mental of the defenders because now they think that they went their operator for no reason, which they basically did. But you also have good aim, you have good game sense, and you're always giving good comms. You love 5 stacking, you're not much of a solo queue player, you like to take the game serious, and you have a lot of passion, and you hate losing. For our next attacker, we have Buck. If Buck is your main on attack, you are a mid-tier player. You most likely all the time you like to just fly in the building using his ability and try to make a play. So you really are a hit and miss. Either you throw a body and get first picked, or you get in sight and you slam out. Overall, you do have good aim, you have good game sense, but you don't drone enough. You barely have a positive KD. Also, you don't ever have a stack to play with. You most of the time solo or duo queue. On to our next attacker, we have Blackbeard. If Blackbeard is your main on attack, you are horrible at the game, just like every other shield op. You can't win your gunfights, you have bad aim, bad game sense, and you don't take the game serious. You only run him because he has an AR and a shield, and you rely on his shield to get you kills. But you never drone, you just run in the building trying to make a play, and 80% of the time, it always backfires, and you throw a body off rip. You never plan or push with your teammates. You try to do everything on your own, and that's why you're hard stuck, and you have never got out of max gold. Siege is a team-based game, so you playing like this is just bad, and your KD is definitely negative. Before we hop into our next operator, I just want to say I really appreciate you watching this video. If you made it this far, make sure you smack that like and subscribe button, turn the post notifications on for more content like this. Also, make sure you leave a comment what your favorite operator is. Me personally, I don't have a main because I feel like you definitely have to be able to adjust to people's playstyles. But if you have one, let me know in the comments. Now let's jump back into this video. On to our next attacker, we have Capito. If your favorite attacker is Cap, you are very cringe, but you literally have some of the most insane pushes with him that are unstoppable. I don't see him used a lot, so I wouldn't say you're a champ, but he is definitely a good operator. He gets hard breaches so you can get any wall. He gets fire and smoke, and you are really good at making plays and getting that plant down with his ability. You are very sneaky as well as smart. You like to bait for kills, but when the team needs you to make that play, they can rely and depend that you will because you're definitely a good player with good aim and good game sense. On to our next attacker, we have Hibana. If your favorite attacker is Hibana, your team always makes you play support, but somehow you are still terrible at it. You have one job to get hatches, but you're always dying to spawn peaks or getting killed by pre-placed nitros. You don't drone anything, so every time you just run in to get the hatch and die from somebody roaming. Your aim is good, your game sense is horrible. You just grab one and think that's all you have to do. Like, no, bro, go get the other hatches too. but I can say if you do get hatches open and you drop and you're in sight, you will make that play if needed, but over half the time, you never get into sight to make a play. On to our next attacker, we have Jackal. If your main attacker is Jackal, you are very sneaky and smart, you have good aim, good game sense, and you love playing Jackal because it's such a good operator. But you are always walking with his ability on. Like, bro, just scan the feet and turn his ability off. You were the type to leave his ability on, run into a mute jammer, now you can't see anything, and you get swung and die. But you do get in the building fast and scan those feet, and you do make plays like getting a first pick and killing the roamer on the enemy team. You do understand that every game you play, 85% of the time, there is always going to be somebody roaming. You have a good KD, giving that most of the time you win your gunfights because you have a red ping, but you are slow sometimes and don't realize Jackal only gets 3 scans, and you will sit there trying to scan someone's foot after you've already scanned 3 people and end up getting swung and die. Like, bro, what are you doing? He doesn't have unlimited scans. On to our next attacker, we have Ying. If your main attacker is Ying, you are very mediocre at the game. You do make plays and get into sight, but you also do some of the stupidest stuff I've ever seen. Like, you'll literally see Warden and continue to throw your Candela and jump in trying to make a play. Like, bro, he is Warden. What are you doing? But I can say you most likely have good aim, good game sense, you understand Siege, and you use your utility to your advantage. You're very passionate, so if they don't ban Ying, you will every round on attack just annoy them by throwing 4 Candelas and flooding sight, but you are always, and I mean always, getting your teammates killed. It's like you think they don't get flashed from your Candelas. Like, bro, stop flashing your teammates and selling rounds. I cannot stress that enough. On to our next operator, we have Zofia. If your main attacker is Zofia, you're either really comp or you're really bad. Because she can be really good, but I've seen Zofia players do some of the dumbest stuff. But most of the time, you're just insane on her. You know how to use her, how to break the defender's utility, and use your flashes to help you and your teammates push sight and make plays. So I say you're either hard stuck bronze and you don't know how to use her at all, or you're very good with her and you understand the game and you have very good aim, very good game sense, and you're definitely a higher rank. On to our next operator, we have Dokkaebi. If your favorite attacker is Dokkaebi, you are not only the best player out of your friend group, you have insane recoil control on the SMG-12, you're always dropping 4Ks and aces, you get in the building fast, you use your calls to not only roam clear, but you use them to flood sight and slam out. I don't know how y'all do it, but I have seen Dokkaebi mains literally kill the whole team with 1 clip. It's honestly insane what some of y'all do with the SMG-12 in your hands. Always running EMPs so you can just throw them on entry points. And like I said, easily flood sight. You have magnificent game sense. There's not one thing you don't hear in this game. And you most likely have at least hit diamond, but most likely probably champ. For our next operator, we have Lion. If your main on attack is Lion, you are terrible at the game. You never use them at good times when your teammates need them. You only use them for yourself. You are very selfish and you never drone anything. You think because you Lion scan that you can just run in the building and make a play. It's honestly funny. You never fail to hit the Lion scan right after you spawn too. Like, bro, why are you scanning before any of your teammates are even close to the building? Even if you do get a red ping, by the time y'all make it to the building, they're no longer there, they're gone. So stop doing that. It is honestly so stupid and a waste of his ability. But I can say you probably have good aim, good game sense, and if you get in sight, you can make a play for the team. On to our next operator, we have Finka. If your favorite attacker is Finka, you are definitely the worst support player I have ever seen. You run Finka knowing her ability is to heal you and your teammates, but it's literally like you only boost when you need them. You're very selfish. Stop doing this. Always pay attention to your teammates. Even if you're on full health and you see a teammate is very low, use one of them for them so they have a better chance to not only win the gunfight that they're in, but they can stay alive and hold a body. It can literally win you so many more rounds. I can't stress this enough. Stop playing Finka if you're just going to use your boost for just you. This is a team-based game. Like, lock in, bro. On to our next operator, we have Maverick. If your main is Maverick on attack, you are honestly a very smart player and you're definitely a higher rank because every map has a main wall you have to get and people love to bandit trick or even K trick, and Maverick counters that no matter what. He can always make holes in the wall to grab that wall denial and help your teammate get the main wall. Also, he can potentially get kills off putting holes in the wall, and it can do some crazy Maverick strats like get a glass in a Maverick, Maverick a line in the wall, have the glass, throw smokes in front of it, and just sit on the line across the breach and get easy kills of anybody playing in sight, and they can't see the holes on the wall because you smoked it off. Also, you probably have good aim, good game sense, and you're really good at holding your teammates while they go for plant. On to our next attacker, we have Nomad. If your favorite attacker is Nomad, you are very passionate, you love to drone everything out, you are always positive, and you can always be counted on to help your teammates grab hatches or vert. For our next operator, we have Gridlock. If your main attacker is Gridlock, you are definitely good at the game, you have good aim as well as good game sense, you love Gridlock because she can stop people from potentially flanking you, so you like to throw them on stairs and any flanks people might try to do. On to our next attacker, we have Nook. If your favorite attacker is Nook, you gotta get a life. Don't get me wrong, she is a really good operator, but the people that play her are always so weird and so passionate. They're always being very sneaky, creeping into sight and slamming out. You definitely have a high KD. You are always making huge plays for the team. I cannot tell you how many times a Nook, knock, whatever y'all want to call it, has snuck into sight and I turn around and I'm just staring at her, but it's so early into the round, I don't even register. She is already in. So honestly, get a life, swing me, and win a gunfight. Stop creeping up on me. On to our next attacker, we have Amaru. If your main attacker is Amaru, you're peak copper. I don't care what y'all say. Yes, you can use her to get in the sight fast and catch people off guard. But if you're playing anything over platinum players, it doesn't work. Trust me. Stop telling your teammates, all right, boys, I'm about to fly in there and get an ace. And not even 20 seconds later, I look up and you're dead within the first 30 seconds of the round. She is one of the worst attackers. Her ability is so loud. If she is your main, you definitely need to hop off Siege and go play Rocket League or something. All you're doing is selling your teammates by throwing a body instantaneously. On to our next operator, we have Callie. If your favorite attacker is Callie, you are the worst player to ever play Siege. Why main a sniper op? She is terrible. The reason you main her is because your aim is terrible, your game sense is terrible. You just sit outside, holding peaks, praying people swing your window or door you're holding, and try to get easy kills. It takes no skill to do that. If that's how you want to play Siege, just go hop on Call of Duty, hit your quick snipes and stuff on there, because Siege is a team-based game. Instead of sitting outside doing nothing, wasting time, go an operator that can help your team and bring something to the table. On to our next operator, we have Iana. If your main attacker is Iana, you are horrible at Siege, you have a negative KD, and you literally only play when you're bored. You don't own all the operators. You don't take this game serious at all. Iana isn't a horrible operator, but in my opinion, she is useless. Instead of going someone that is basically a drone, just use Twitch or Brava. They get 2 extra drones. Iana is so easy to hear when you use her ability, so people would just swing you while you're on it and get easy kills. You can use her ability to bait people into swinging you, but that's literally it. She isn't good, and when you use her clone, it literally gives away where you're pushing from. So if this is your main, I can't see you being anything higher than silver. On to our next operator, we have Ace. If your favorite attacker is Ace, you are definitely a high rank, you understand Siege, and that getting the walls are so key to pushing as an attacker. You normally don't play support, you just love playing Ace because he has a good weapon and you can get so many different walls and make so many different entry points into the building. It's insane. He is honestly one of my top 3 attackers that I use. On to our next attacker, we have Zero. If you are a Zero main, you honestly can range from any rank in my opinion. He is just a really good operator. I feel like he is underrated, especially after his buff. So now he has 6 cams, and intel is everything in Siege. So if he is your main, you definitely are passionate, you play Siege a lot, and you understand that having comms and having a cam on the enemy team literally can win rounds. You're very versatile because he can be used in so many different ways. On to our next attacker, we have Flores. If Flores is your main on attack, you are very passionate, you are versatile, giving that Flores can literally counter so many ops by blowing up all the defender's utility and his drones. You come with 4 of them, so you can use those to get intel too. Also, you are really good at jumping in sight and making a play without them hearing you because your loud drone is blowing up and you have good aim. You can definitely work on your game sense a little though, but you can definitely get in sight and make plays for the team. On to our next attacker, we have Osa. If your favorite attacker is Osa, you are really good at pushing the main walls with your support players. You are really good at being able to hold your teammate as he is trying to get in and get the plant down. You have a high KD, you have decent game sense, but your aim is mediocre. You miss a lot of your shots and you lose a lot of gunfights. But other than that, you are a well-rounded player. But when you get impacted or C4, you are chopped cheese and you think twice about running Osa. On to our next operator, we have Sense. If your favorite operator is Sense, you are dog pissed at the game, you have no game sense, you do have good aim, but that's literally it. You suck. You try to play him and make plays, and it always backfires. It's like you only play him because you think he is a fun operator to use, and you always tell your team, let me hold diffuser so you can get plant down, but always end up doing the opposite. On to our next operator, we have Grim. If Grim is your favorite attacker, you are most likely a high rank, you are very passionate, you play for the team, you love Grim because not only can he help get a main wall with his hard breaches or his impact EMPs, but he can literally Grim off every angle they can swing to kill whoever is going for plant. So when they do hit the bees, now you have a red ping. So you can literally Grim so many angles off and hop in, and you're really good at making plays off of it. But if you use Grim, you are definitely a high rank. You understand Siege, and that having a red ping on the enemy can change the whole round. And even without the red ping, it limits them from moving and making a play. On to our next operator, we have Brava. If your favorite attacker is Brava, you are definitely a higher rank. You understand, once again, utility in Siege is everything. You love to go Brava to take the defender's utility and chalk their mental. You are very good at the game. You have very good at adjusting and countering to your enemy team's playstyle. You have good aim, good game sense. You are always jumping in the building and making a play for the team because she doesn't have to worry about any utility to slow her down. On to our next attacker, we have Ram. If your favorite attacker is Ram, you are most likely bad at the game. If the site is upstairs, you will still run Ram just for the gun, knowing she will basically be useless because she can't get vert on an upstairs site. But on the other hand, when they're downstairs, you literally go upstairs, you throw your Rams, make the vert, you either get roamed on and die because you have no game sense, or you don't pay attention and you make the vert and you just run downstairs to push shite. Like, bro, stay upstairs, Wait to see if your team can get the plan off, and if they do, you literally have Vert on the diffuser, which will 70% of the time win the round. On to our last and final operator, we have Deimos. If your favorite attacker is Deimos, you are for sure a higher rank. You have insane game sense while using his ability, knowing when and when not to swing. You have nasty aim, giving that you have to hit your shots because he only has 6 bullets in his pistol. You are always hitting nasty one-taps on people, and you're always putting insane footwork on people. You literally make kids look lost. But that is going to be it for today's video. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Y'all be safe. God bless. We out.